Hi everyone, thank you for watching DevRelCon Tokyo 2021 interview session. I'm Dyson, one of the organizers of the DevRelCon Tokyo 2021. In this series, we invite awesome speakers of the event and we ask them to introduce themselves and their talks. Today's show, we have Srini Kadamati from Preset.io. I would like to know about him and his talk. So please welcome Srini. Hi
Hey,
there.
Dyson. Great to be here.
How's it going? Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah. So how's everything going on there?
Things are good, staying busy. I think hopefully it looks like we're coming to a close for this whole coronavirus thing. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how just communities in general evolve as things kind of start going back in person. So yeah.
Well, cool. So, like I said, today's interview session is everything about you. So, first of all thing, I want to know about you. So, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Srini Kadamati. I'm a senior developer advocate at Preset.io. We are the main kind of stewards and commercial vendor for Apache Superset, which is an open source BI platform that was originally created by Max at Airbnb and has since kind of gone through the Apache incubator. So I'm kind of first and foremost a data scientist turned data science educator, now developer advocate. So I kind of spent the last 5 years building a online learning platform for helping people learn data science. And then I got excited about the possibility of making the existing tools better and creating entirely new data tools. And so I was able to kind of transition to working on Superset and advocating for the tool. So I'm kind of excited to continue bringing my experience both as a data scientist and the insights there to make Superset better, as well as my education and teaching experience to kind of help more people learn how to use it and get value out of the tool.
Oh, cool. Every time I hear about the profile from, speakers or other guys for the DevRel, it's amazing because we have a lot of the variety of the backgrounds, to become the DevRel people. So myself, I started as a software engineer, then became the DevRel person, and you started as a data scientist, became the DevRel person. So what made you to changing your career, or what was the intention of your starting the role?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I think it's interesting because I come from data science world where people say the same thing there too. People in data science come from all different types of backgrounds, traditional kind of math and technical backgrounds, all the way to philosophy, psychology, and everything in between. I've met data scientists with every single major in college, basically. So I think in general, I'm a pretty kind of jack of all trades, T-shaped type of person. And I think I'm just drawn. I have so many interests that I'm drawn to so many different components of the same sector or arena. And so I think data science was a natural thing for me, where you can kind of both specialize in some ways, but also be very broad and learn a lot, learn a little about a lot of different things. So that was exciting. And then with developer relations, I think I really got into it because I was excited to continue bringing my expertise, creating content for my last company, as well as documentation, speaking, and just kind of generally advocating and educating and teaching. And I think that was really exciting for me to kind of bring over that existing experience that I had, my background in data science, and bring that into kind of a new arena. I also sometimes feel like it's not a real job sometimes, and so I think I'm very fortunate to be in developer relations. I think it's super fun, and you get to do a large variety of things. And I think I've always just been drawn to these types of roles where I can do many different things and can kind of have different focus areas and get better at a few different things at the same time. I think that's ultimately what I'm drawn to.
Cool. Yeah. So, when you became a developer person, it depends on the company, it depends on the role or in a situation. So that's why we have the DevRelCon to share our knowledge and experience. So let's get into your talk. So you are going to have like a 20 minutes presentation on the day. Can you, talk a little bit about the talk, but not, spoiling stuff? No spoiler.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say the high level kind of pitch is how do we? So it's Superset is a BI tool and a visualization tool, and we have a very large community. It's a very popular project on GitHub. We have a Slack community as well, and with open source, the communities also there's lots of grassroots communities across the internet. And we're basically want to figure out how we can help support all of these people and how to do it in a scalable way, which usually means some type of data and some type of charts. And so I'm excited to kind of showcase the work we've done to use data effectively to help kind of manage and garden communities. A lot of my talk will focus on open source and kind of code contributions and kind of chat and community contributions that are non-technical as well. But I'm hopeful the ideas will translate to kind of anyone that's trying to manage a large community full of thousands of people and just really trying to make sense of it effectively.
Oh, cool. It sounds like you are focusing on more like an online community stuff, but do you happen to have like offline activities as well, or the COVID-19 hits hard? So right now we really don't have the in-person experiences. So
Yeah, no, a great question. I think so. I joined the community and my current company about a year ago, so at the height of the pandemic. So I've mostly been exposed to the virtual element of the community, I'll say. But I will say, we are hoping to. When I joined, there was only just the one meetup that was originally kind of at Airbnb's headquarters in San Francisco, which is where a lot of the folks that contribute to the project live. And since COVID and just in general, the community has grown. It's a lot more international now, and I've started to kind of work on creating more distributed meetups. So we do have some superset meetups that are international, and we're starting to expand there. They're currently still virtual, but I'm hopeful, maybe in a year when people are more comfortable and things have, the virus has winded down a little bit more, then maybe we can do some in-person events in the superset community. So I'm excited for that. So far, I have not had the chance to experience that yet.
Yeah, same here. I joined my company like 3 or 4 months before the pandemic. So when
Yeah.
I get started for the offline meeting, it shut down everything. But I'm looking forward to having the offline, in-person meetings in the future. Yeah, cool. So the next question is I ask this to every speaker. So what would be the one thing that you want your audience to learn from your talk?
Yeah, I think the one thing is, um, there's only one thing. Oh, that's hard. I think probably the one thing is to be really honest about where your community stands and kind of what kind of outcomes you're hoping to optimize for. I think I think human beings and communities they're so multifaceted, so complicated and complex. It's easy to try to want to do everything. Like you want to maybe be able to respond to people's questions within 5 minutes and also have amazing documentation and also encourage people to give talks everywhere or what have you. You might have tons of different goals and aspirations, and it's good to have those as a source of inspiration. But I think ultimately, if you really want to help garden and support a community, I think it's super important to understand where the community stands, who are the different types of people in the community, what stage of the community you're at. Especially in open source communities, go through multiple phases where people initially are just coming to get their own question answered and hopefully graduate to helping others. So where are you in that life cycle? And just be very honest about that, and figure out ways to support that and nurture the current state and the current goals of the members before kind of pushing them to kind of pushing the community to help evolve to maybe where you want it to go or the next stage of community.
Cool. Yeah. So other than, to be honest, to your committee, do you have any tips to manage their expectations? Because I see the point. People want to answer, or people that want to have their perfect documentation, which can be coming together, with the resources. But we tend to have the short resources. We need to have multiple hearts sometimes. So how do you manage your expectation to the others, or internal or external, or whatever you do?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely the thing that I think about the most because people come in and a community is just very raw, and people come in and they don't always know what is that culture and the unspoken conduct. And with virtual, it's very especially hard. So I think there's two components here. I think there's first kind of again what you're able to do and what your situation is, and then what people expect. So in my case, it's an Apache community, so I'm not the only person. It's not my project. It's not my company's project. It's very much a distributed, open community. And so it's hard to be too much of a kind of top-down dictator, even if that's what you want to be. So I think, you have to be very honest about where you are. And if it's one of these more grassroots communities, then I think you really have to think about what the culture that you want to set is there, and then where is the magnetism, right? So if the magnetism is you are in a community where people are helping each other out, then maybe you really kind of optimize for that. Where someone maybe is coming in and expecting some magical recipe or video or piece of documentation, but the community is really oriented towards kind of on-demand peer-to-peer help, then maybe you kind of gently nudge them in that direction. I also think that there's ways of kind of almost borrowing from psychology, but ways to kind of condition people a little bit, where when people kind of if you have a code of conduct, and if you don't, I highly recommend writing one. But when you have kind of a set of standards and a shared code there, I think you really want to reward people who are following that and kind of honoring that. And for people that aren't, so in a lot of communities, they don't want people DMing each other. You have a mechanism for those people to make sure that they're being heard and not getting kind of annoyed with DMs. And you kind of try to not punish, but you discourage that behavior by replying slowly or just letting people know, hey, like, thanks for your question, but this is kind of the code of conduct we have. Please like try to abide by this. And you really try to reward quote unquote good behavior, or the type of behavior that the community actually wants. So it's a little bit difficult. And I think that, definitely getting community buy-in is also important, so that people are kind of invested in this shared goal. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm also managing my community, to not dictating, but supporting my community in Japan. So I'm really looking forward to your talk. So yeah, this is short time, but thank you for joining, to share your, personal stuff and, your talk. So I'm really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thanks for kind of helping organize this great conference. And I'm excited to kind of share what I've learned, and hopefully it's useful to others.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks. Okay, so the event is June 5th. So yeah, make sure that you're gonna be okay. I hope that we see you soon.
Absolutely. Great to meet you virtually.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Srini. Yeah, this was great talk. We're gonna have that conference on June 5th. If you're interested in his talk, please visit his page on the DevRelCon Tokyo 2021 page, and make sure that you register and you play game to chance to win the swags. So thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.